Good morning. It's 10 a.m. I've been up for about 3 hours. I've been working on my thesis, my master's program, and I'm finished now. And I just wanted to discuss what I've been putting on Facebook about what happened on April the 11th, 2022. And the reason that I'm doing that is number one for me. I feel that I need to get things out and I get things out to my counselor. I talk to other people about it, face to face, but I've never put it on Facebook. And Facebook reaches a lot more people than just a counselor and a few other people that I've talked to. Um, it's tough to type the stuff out. It's tough to relive that night. But as I've been reading about PTSD for my thesis, it's I've changed my nomenclature from flashbacks to reenactments because I do reenact in my mind what happened that night. I can remember exactly where I was when Celia screamed. I can remember the scene of the uh, show I was watching, The Pacific. I can remember the episode that I was watching. Um, I can remember that I was drinking a Coke. Uh, the Coke, the bottle was sitting right beside me on the end table in the chair that I was sitting in that night. And I can remember after everything was over with and I'm walking back through the house, getting things to go and stay at a person's house. Um, I can remember the Roku screensaver scrolling on the TV. And I still have a hard time looking at that, the Roku screensaver scrolling on the TV, because it brings back memories from that night. And there are times that I want to disassociate myself from those memories and those reenactments and those thoughts and those emotions. And it's really hard to get those thoughts and visions and senses, even smells, out of my mind. They say that the olfactory the olfactory system, your smell, is one of the most prolific ways of bringing back flashbacks. And I can remember what my hands and my mouth smelled like after doing CPR on Sawyer. Because he had vomited, as I put in Facebook this morning, that he had vomited numerous times as I was doing CPR on him, and I thought that he had just aspirated on something. And it never dawned on me to check for a pulse, um, like to legitimately check for a pulse. I do remember checking for a pulse in every place that I could. His carotid arteries, his brachial, his axial, his femoral, even put my ear down to his chest. And I swear, you know, my mind was telling me that there was a pulse, there was hope. And that's why I kept going, doing CPR on him for I don't know how long, but it seemed like an eternity. And it wasn't until a deputy sheriff named Richard Palmer came up to me and he put his hand on my shoulder very gingerly and uh, he said, "Coach, I need you to turn around and look at me in the eyes." And I did, and he was crying because he knew Sawyer. Um, and he said, "Coach, I'm so sorry." And I remember falling into his arms, just crying, and telling the deputies that they're not taking me off Sawyer. And I remember just holding him for I don't know how long. Um, and crying and just saying, no, 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 this is not happening. This is just a bad dream. And I kept telling myself to wake up, um, yelling at myself to wake up. And of course, it never happened. And what I mean, me waking up, and it wasn't a bad dream, it was real. And PTSD does not just affect veterans. People who suffer from PTSD from traumatic events, rape, even divorces, spousal abuse, witnessing death, witnessing car wrecks, being in car wrecks, uh, civilians. There are people walking all around us today that suffer from PTSD, and we don't know that. And we think that we all have our lives together, and but there are people who are going through things that we have no concept of, and people have bad days, and we make them worse by uh, you know coming down on them for something trivial, frivolous. But there's a meme on Facebook that says everybody's dealing with battles that we don't see, we don't know. Be kind, and that's the truth. We need to be kind to each other. We need to have a heart for each other, and we need to help each other in however way we can. Um, Eileen has a tremendous support group who supports her in every aspect of her life, and not just in her workplace, but her personal life. They call themselves the Tribe, and it's four ladies, three ladies, and four ladies, including Eileen, and they confide in each other. And men have a hard time confiding in each other. We have a hard time admitting that we're having a hard time. Um, it's We need to be more open with each other. We need to, we don't have to air our dirty laundry to everybody, but we need to get things out. I've got a really close friend who I know I can confide in and talk to, and he doesn't give me um, BS advice. He just listens, and that's what men need. We need just to listen, and we don't need to try to fix a man's problem with some type of advice and some type of personal thing that we think we know about, and in reality we have no clue uh, what uh, what that person is going through, and we try to put ourselves in those shoes, in that person's shoes, and there's no way we can do that if we've never experienced the loss of a child, the loss of a loved one. Um, and I put on Facebook this morning that it said in psychology that says that the loss of a child is like amputating a part of a parent's body, and that's the truth. Um, I never thought it would happen to me, but here I am. And where do we go from here? I've talked about starting a foundation with about Sawyer and mental health and stuff like that, and I don't know what to do with that. I don't know how to start a foundation. I've asked the Secretary of State, and they've literally sent me a website with steps of how to do it, but the steps are so vague. Um, and I've asked some Mississippi state legislators about how to do it, and they've looked into it for me, and they don't know how to do it. Most of the legislators in Jackson and in Washington D.C., for that matter, are lawyers, and the state legislature, the state legislator that I um, asked lawyers, and lawyers don't know how to. The lawyers he spoke with don't know how to do it. So, if you have any idea of how to start a foundation, I know there's one person that lost their child. Two or three people actually who have lost their children who have started foundations. So if you're watching this video, please, reach out to me and tell me about it. Tell me how to do it. Tell me what you did. and I will, follow your advice. So that's all I've got for this morning. It's about a 10-minute video, and I hope you watch it, and I hope you get something from it. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.